Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. I hope that you're well. I'm gonna ask you guys, what is your favorite thing in the world? No, not that. That's weird, man. Fragrance clones. That's the answer. Fragrance clones. I'm just messing with you guys, but I do know a lot of you really enjoy clone fragrances. When you can get something on the cheap that smells like something super expensive or something impossible to find, that's an attractive proposition. And today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about a clone fragrance that actually a number of you out there emailed me about. So it is this guy right here from Asdaaf, which is part of Latafa, Majd Al Sultan Black Intense. So a lot of you were hitting me up and telling me I had to get this because it is a clone or an alternative to this guy right here, which is one that a lot of you have been trying to get for a while. Ooh, the one Luminous Night. This is good. I really like this. So let's jump into it. Hey guys, I will have the Asdaaf linked below, and if I can somehow find the one Luminous Night, I'll link that down below also. Do be forewarned that even if I'm able to find the one Luminous Night in stock somewhere, if you're watching this in the future, it's probably already sold out. That's just how it goes. Also, something completely separate here. If you shop at Twisted Lily or Max Aroma, use the code GENTS10 for 10% off. Here we got the front of the box. You have the name of the house, name of the fragrance, size, and concentration. And it has this like a fuzziness to it. I hate it so much with an extreme passion. I don't know why. It's just, I hate the feeling of the box on my fingers. My salad fingers. Nobody's going to get that. There's like one person out of the entire whoever watches this that understands. I remember salad fingers. On top of the box, Asdaaf with their little logo, and then on the back the ingredients, and then manufactured by Latafa Perfumes. You got that sticker of authenticity. You gotta love it. And then on the bottom you have your barcode and batch code. My bottle expires 07/2027, it says. And here we have the bottle, and like pulling no punches, guys. Again, talking about this velvety feel, I despise this bottle. Like every inch of my being hates this bottle. I know some of you out there probably think it's really slick. It feels good in the hand to you, but man, I hate it. Enough whining about that. On the front, you have a little plaque. You've got the name of the fragrance, name of the house right there. The plaque actually looks pretty nice. Nothing on the sides or the back, and on the bottom, just a little plain sticker. Cap slides into place. Do not try to pick this up by the cap. It is not a snug fit. And you know what we'll do. I will blast out a couple sprays for you. Let's go ahead and share these sprays together. Atomizer is actually pretty good, all things considered. Does it smell similar or the same even as the one Luminous Night? And in case you guys are unaware for any reason, which I doubt you are, but if you're unaware of any reason of the one Luminous Night, this is, I would say, easily the most sought after the one flanker that there's ever been. And it's difficult to find in the United States because it is an exclusive edition to the Middle East. So basically you have to luck out and have a fragrance discounter get it in stock and be able to pick it up before it sells out. And they're not cheap, even at discounters. Oftentimes they're like $100 or more. The one Luminous Night for me is easily one of the best in the entire line. It's basically the one Eau de Parfum and the one Luminous Night. Those are the two best. Okay, back to this. In the opening, they do not smell the same. They are noticeably different in the opening. And the main difference for me is going to be that this guy over here is lacking the incense and that kind of rich underlying woodiness that the one Luminous Night has. Now, I do think that this is close enough to this that you would call Black Intense over here basically the one Luminous Night with a twist. You could say that. But the difference in the opening is glaring. If you spray them on side by side, you'll immediately be like, oh yeah, there's a noticeable difference there. Nobody can mistake it. You're not gonna go up to anyone and say, smell this, and have them go, huh, it's the same thing. They'll be able to tell. That being said, Black Intense does not smell bad. It smells really pleasant. It's sweet. It's just basically like they took the one Luminous Night and they basically had the incense, and the incense is turned up on the One Luminous Night. Say it's maybe at like a 7 or an 8 or something like that. And then for Black Intense, they went, let's go ahead and just dial that down to about a 1.5. Just leave it there. And it does change how the fragrance comes across. It's very noticeable. Like I said, the One Luminous Night, when you smell it, especially side by side with Black Intense, it has more richness. It's got more depth, more body to it. So that's all in the opening of the fragrance. And I would say that the opening is where these are most different. So if you were the type who sprays a fragrance on and you make a decision within 3 minutes, oh, I do like it or I dislike it or whatever, then you may spray it on and within 2-3 minutes go, oh, this is not an alternative. They're different. Which, just for the record, if you're trying out a fragrance, you have to do more than just spray it on, smell in 5 seconds, and then be like, I've made my decision. The entirety of the fragrance sucks. Or it's good. You gotta let it breathe. As Black Intense dries down, it maintains that sweetness. Once it heads into the mid, it does get a lot closer to the One Luminous Night. Now, the One Luminous Night is still going to have a little bit more of that incense going on, but on the whole, the fragrances are kind of a little bit apart initially, and then they start to creep closer and closer together as they dry. As it dries down, Black Intense over here starts to pick up a little bit more warmth, and it does get close enough where you can smell them side by side, and you can think to yourself, okay, yeah, at this point, it's a clone. It's basically a fragrance that starts as not really a clone and then becomes one as it dries on your skin. And once you do hit the dry down, they're quite similar. At that point, you probably could go up to somebody, have them smell both, and they'd be like, oh yeah, they're really close. But that opening really does have them in quite separate places. So essentially dumbing it down, simplifying it, you could say that Black Intense is the One Luminous Night. If you dialed down the incense quite a bit, you turned down the woodiness a bit as well. You left in that kind of sugary sweetness, which is provided primarily by the note of dates. And you kind of focus in more on that. And then as the fragrances dry down, Black Intense has more of that ambery warmth and sweetness that comes out, kind of mixes together with that sugary sweetness from earlier, and at that point smells much closer to the One Luminous Night, because as you get into the mid and the dry down, the incense kind of steps back a little bit in the One Luminous Night and lets those other notes play around. And so that missing incense and dial down woodiness in Black Intense isn't as noticeable at that point, and you basically have an alternative to the One Luminous Night. You just have to work through the opening to get there. Now, if you were to ask me, which one is better overall? Is this one right there with the One Luminous Night? Is this even better than the One Luminous Night? Like, how does it shake out? I would say between the two, pretty easily, the One Luminous Night is the better fragrance. Just overall, this stuff is better. The opening is better. Like I said, it's more interesting. There's more going on, much richer. As they dry, they get a bit closer, but still yet on the whole, this one comes across as the higher quality fragrance to me, the better fragrance overall. But that is very difficult to find. And maybe you do have that and you love the way it smells, but you don't want to waste it. You don't want to spray too much of it out, wear it too much, whatever. Some people don't like to run through their fragrance bottles really quickly. Would this be a suitable alternative to the One Luminous Night? I think yes, absolutely. Now the bottle I don't like. I hate the fuzz. It looks kind of plain. The cap, like the leather on top of the cap here, is flaking up. So I mean, like the glue has come undone already. So that's not great. You know, the quality of the presentation here is not really nice. But the scent itself smells very good. And even though I pointed out the differences in the opening between this and the One Luminous Night, and I do think the One Luminous Night is better, the opening here still smells good. As soon as I sprayed it on, my wife took notice. She wanted to know what it was. She said it smelled great. She does love sweet fragrances, so keep that in mind, but she really liked it. And then as it dries down, as I said, it gets much closer to the One Luminous Night, and it does become a true clone or alternative at that point. So once you get to that point, you're home free. So suitable alternative, absolutely. But is it a one-to-one direct clone of the One Luminous Night? No. This is one of those clones that's more the One Luminous Night with a twist instead of just straight up the One Luminous Night. Do keep in mind this is way cheaper. When I got it, I think it was around $27 and some change US on Fragrance Buy's website, which is where I got this. Don't remember if I said that before, but fragrancebuy.ca. And again, linked in the description. Awesome website for designers, niche, indie, clones, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, for around 27 bucks, 27, 28, yeah. Awesome deal at that point. Because again, the one Luminous Night is going to be creeping on $100, sometimes more. So this is roughly like 30% the cost of the one Luminous Night. Hard to beat that. In terms of performance, it's good. It's above average. It's not quite there with the one Luminous Night. The one Luminous Night projects a little bit more for me, especially in the opening. As I said before, the opening in the one Luminous Night, more full-bodied, just pushes out a little more. But overall, Black Intense has good performance. The projection, a little bit above average. Longevity, a bit above average as well. Absolutely not the kind of fragrance that's going to die out on your skin after like 30 minutes or something. And it is a fall and wintertime fragrance, just like the one Luminous Night. Most people would say it leans more toward nighttime use. But as I say pretty much every time, I mean, if you like it, you want to wear it during the day, wear it. There's no rule. But yeah, there we go. All of you that emailed me, I got it in. You guys were really hyped about it, and I do see why. If you want an alternative to Luminous Night, I think this is your best bet right now. I don't think there's anything else out there that for this price point is going to get you anywhere near as close to the one Luminous Night as this. Your best alternative to this is just finding the one Luminous Night, basically. But if you don't want to mess with that, or you don't want to pay the price or whatever, this is what you need. All right, guys, that will do it for me. Thank you for hanging with me here. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.